Is the microphones working yet? So you can hear me, Sheila? Okay, thank you. Well, hello, everybody. We're going to try this again. Start it over. Because you know I try to plan everything out to where it's done the way I want it done. So, you know, with being Good Friday and everything, I wanted to, you know, make everything a little different or a little better or a little this or a little that. The camera has been acting up, and I think there's my microphone, because I think that the windstorm, I don't know if when it knocked the power or something, it made the power go out, and that was about an hour ago. So I thought, well, I didn't check the camera, y'all, because I'm not a camera person. But I wanted to do it this way so y'all can stick around and listen to me, and let me read some of the stuff that I used to teach Sunday school with, and then we'll go back to our normal chat. But, you know, Good Friday is the most solemn day of Christian faith. And this marks the day that Jesus Christ gave his life on the cross. A moment of sacrifice that forever changed history. On this day, just like today, think about it, nearly 2,000 years ago. I'm going to read. Jesus was led to a place called Golgotha, the place of the skull. He carried his cross through the streets after being betrayed, beaten, and mocked. Yet even as he suffered, kind of like we do, his purpose was clear: to bear the weight of the sins so humanity could be redeemed. And that's what we do when we get so depressed and so down. And that's what's got me out of the depression here lately, is saying, dear God, I can't handle anymore. Please help me. And he redeems me. He redeems you. It says that the crowds watched. Some jeered, some wept. Kind of just like this time's things going on. You always see those gawkers, you know. The sky grew dark at midday and the earth trembled. What looked like defeat was in truth the greatest victory ever won. When Jesus cried out, "It is finished," he wasn't giving up, y'all. He was fulfilling his mission. Every debt, every wrongdoing, every burden was carried with him on that cross. So Good Friday reminds us that grace costs something. An unmatched love that went beyond pain or pride. It's a day to pause. So today is a day to pause to remember that mercy is not earned but freely given. As you reflect tonight, think of the people around the cross, the soldiers, the thief, his mother, the faithful few who stayed. They saw the worst of humanity and yet witnessed the beginning of redemption. Now, we call today good, not because the events were painless, but because through suffering came salvation. Now, Sunday's dawn was waiting just beyond this hill, but Friday had to come first. The crucifixion, just terrible. Must have been terrible. May this Good Friday message bring peace to your heart and reflection to your soul. In the silence of this night, remember, the cross wasn't the end of the story. It was the bridge to hope. And we do have it, just for the asking. I felt like I needed to highlight Good Friday, just like Sunday's, Easter, Everybody knows about Easter, what Easter is. Babies think it's bunnies and eggs. But us adults, we don't take it at heart either. We think more of ham and dressing and turkey and dressing and hiding the Easter eggs and all that. But there's more of a deep, deep, deep meaning that we should be remembering than just Easter eggs and all that stuff. Good food. Sheila Chester, I'm glad to see you. She said, but I don't see you. Eric, I can hear you, BG, not see you. I can see you now. Rebecca Beeler, hi, Billie Jean. How you feeling? Oh, I'm doing okay. Y'all, I'm doing okay. Got a sweet card today from a gal just up the road. And I've got it here somewhere. I had all my mail come in. I had to buy a thing for the computer. It's not cheap. Y'all, it's not cheap having all this stuff go on and doing all this. But I maintain. I maintain, y'all. And I didn't have anything really important to come on tonight, just to say I'm going to try to come on Easter, but you just never know if I'll get on or not. Because things, if it's not the camera, if it's not family, if it's not, now we're having storms, it's always something. And I got something in my eye just then. Gosh, I hope y'all are going to have a good Easter, though, and eat a lot of food. I think that is, I think we're going to do something really easy this year, like sandwiches. I just don't feel like, I cook all the time. That's kind of like my day of rest these holidays, because if we go out to the country to my sister's, and she's not well, I told her, I said, don't be, because she had both of her legs after her son was killed. She had both her legs nearly amputated by a wreck. She took 50 feet of concrete out of a substandard bridge, and it's lucky she even walks. And then her husband's the one that has the half the lung that he had taken out, but he got a really good report yesterday. So prayer, y'all, thank you for your prayers. The nodules on the other lung are not cancerous, and he don't go back for about another year. So, there's always, could be worse for any of us. And I don't know if I've even told you, when I worked for designers and stuff, I was always one to, I worked for cologne companies, perfume companies. So I've been delving back into making my fragrances. Uh, because besides the computer work and everything, I just like good cologne, and I make mother her fragrances. This is one I just made her. Uh, she really likes it. So I had to order. I haven't done it in so many years. I had to order the ingredients, the alcohol that I needed to go with the oils. But I think she's really going to like this one. It's not too strong, and it's kind of it would be similar to Chanel Mademoiselle. So if you know the Chanel and the Mademoiselle, you would like this mix because it's not overpowering. And then, of course, I've always made my own cologne. I don't like buying cologne. It's too expensive, but yet my when I put on cologne, it'll turn this bitter and it'll smell like a something old. I don't know. It's the acid in people's skin. That's why when you put on certain fragrances and you think, "Ooh, that's not very pleasant." Well, it's because it's what the essential oils or the oils that they put in. It just don't mix with your chemistry. So you have to find the fragrances that will mix with your chemistry. Because see, apple, like these small. Here's some ginger. Uh, Ginger doesn't work well with me. And apple will turn as bitter on my skin than anything. A lot of people, uh, women don't realize it, but when you wear eye makeup, or when I had clients, they would just say, "Oh, that just itches my eyes. That mascara or that color on that eyeshadow and stuff just itches my eyes to death." Well, it's because it's got orange peel in it, and you're allergic to the orange peel. So there's not, I don't know of any, but I haven't been in it in a long time, y'all. You have to realize I was a makeup artist nearly 40 years ago. Uh, they may have products that doesn't have orange peel in it. I'm not sure. So if your eyes itch when you wear cosmetics, it's more than likely orange peel in the mix, and you can Google that, and nowadays you can Google that. I used to have a book, a cosmetic glossary that would tell me what the company's bywords were for the orange peel, and I'd have a client come in, I'd look it up, and I'd say, well, it's red dye number this or that. Well, it's orange peel. So let me get up here. Let me get down here. What different sense do you make? Well, Sheila, it depends on the person. It depends on, like I'm making one for my sister. I try to make the fragrance, if I know the person well enough, I try to take a fragrance, and I keep every fragrance that I've ever made that I come up with. I've kept it on index cards, and who it was made for, or what reason I made it, and then I can just go back and remix it. So it just depends on, when you say sense, there's not one certain answer. There's not one clear answer for that. It depends on the person. It depends on, because like my sister, she can't have uh, bergamot or anything that's got like honeydew. It all, even vanilla will turn bitter on her skin. So I make sure that I have that card and I have her name on it, and I put, this didn't work last time, and it might be vanilla. And then I don't when I make them little gifts for Christmas and stuff, I make sure to omit using the certain oils so they don't turn bitter once they put them on, and they last. You got to have that base fragrance to keep. A lot of fragrances you put it on, and then in 10 minutes you don't even smell it. Well, it's because they're not adding enough base fragrance to the main mix. And we'll discuss this more. I mean, I enjoy it. It would give y'all something to do if you got you a set of these oils from Amazon, and just mix up for room. If you like room deodorizers and things, I love making that stuff, and it's fun, and it pays off because you always have something that smells good, I think. But yeah, today being Friday, I got out in the traffic, and it sure was busy today. Uh, Everybody trying to get to, I guess, all their Easter shopping. Get everything done. Uh, Yesterday, I went to Aldi's, a grand opening, and I wanted to see what the new store looked like. And the gal that is the head of, probably 15, 20 stores, uh, I wanted to go see how they had done and it's beautiful. They're clean. Well, of course, it's brand new. They took over the Big Lots building. So, and I like all these. I really do like all these. They've got some good stuff for good price, but one of my sisters one time told me, she said, well, I don't like all these. They don't have their produce and stuff. I've never had any problems whatsoever with all these. So, to each his own, I guess you'd say. Sheila, I guess y'all are probably going to have a big Easter with your children. Everybody's probably going to have a big Easter with their children. Y'all just be safe out there, because everything is, like we've talked before, it's just crazy. And I'm feeling okay, y'all. It's just, and I'm a lot better on that depression. I'm just exhausted, y'all. I thought the iron might help me. Well, it hadn't worked yet. I may be some better, but I had a hernia surgery about, I don't know if I had the channel then or not, but I don't think that I have re-injured myself. But you can never tell with that mesh that they put in for a hernia surgery. There's something that's just not right. There's just something not right, and I can't pinpoint what it is unless it's needs to be fixed. But then I looked up, and the doctors of you or medical people might know, says that can shift, or that even the nerves can make you think that something's gone awry. So I don't know, but it's painful. So I've been trying not to lift just a bag of groceries or something small, because I don't want to re-injure where I've got to have another hernia surgery, because I was fine for a long time, and then I don't know, something's just not jihad too good. So I'll probably have to go get that checked out. If it ain't one thing, it's something else, and I believe it. I believe that everybody has their issues, has their problems, and we make it through, though, don't we? We really do make it through. Rebecca Beeler, I really liked both your Facebook posts today. Very well said on the Jesus picture. Touched my heart. Well, Rebecca, like I said a little bit ago, I think that we need to highlight stuff nowadays. Now, y'all can tell I'm not no religious fanatic, but I feel like that once you highlight It might bring somebody some peace. It might bring me peace. I've always been one to help people, but if I can say something that, whether it be a religious saying, a poem, uh, a post, as we say nowadays, then I'm all for it because I'm doing the work of the Lord. I'm doing the work of how He wants me to convey to this world. And so many people don't do anything. Uh, my dad told me once, he said, son, if you help one person, truly help one person, I've said this before, you've done more than most. And then the other saying was his, I was always so kind hearted. Uh, and y'all have heard my little stories about the call woman, the woman that I met in the Safeway store when I was probably about 6 or 7 years old. Mother and I had gone to buy groceries. Or grandmother's was also. We wasn't at Piggly Wiggly's. We was at Safeway that day, and the woman needed a ride home. And after my mother, you know, realized who she was, that she was the town whore. And of course, my mother's grandmother, they didn't make quims about nothing like that. We get her groceries and put them in the car, and we carried her home. Uh, and that's just the way my life's been. I've always tried to help people. Sometimes, I've done too much and then I regretted it. But most of the time, most people are pretty good about things. But now this is a new day and age than it was in the 80s, 70s, 60s. So you just have to be kind of careful. I see so much on Facebook that just, I don't know. It seems like everybody's got a chip on their shoulder and nobody can do anything right, whether it be a city council, a policeman, a preacher, their mother, their grandmother. And then they get on Facebook and just more or less cuss them out. Well, Lord, we didn't do that. We did not do that. We would never do that. I would never do that. Uh, if something made me upset, you just didn't talk about it. And sure, if we'd have had this social media, you just don't talk about stuff. There's certain things you don't talk about. There's certain things you don't post. And I feel like I know who the idiot is, when I see this stuff, because I think if you had half a brain, you wouldn't be putting this stuff on social media. You wouldn't even say it in your house back then. But now you put it out for the world to see. That's just plumb stupid. I'm not going to open my mouth and be the fool. So Sheila says, I won't be with my grandson because they have plans. We aren't doing anything other than going to church. Good, good way of putting it. That's where it should be. And I can't go to church this year. Uh, I mean, we could, but after Mother falling the other day, um, I just have to be, I can't leave her to go to church. Uh, I'm not so sure she would feel good about going to church. She's got beautiful clothes to wear and all that. I make sure, y'all. But there's certain times that you just cannot uh, do things you're used to. Mother and I never missed Easter church or Christmas Eve. Never. But sometimes you just get to where you can't. And the Lord knows you've done all you can do. And you're doing all you can do. So I would like to go, but I won't. Uh, we'll be here and watch it on the TV. And someday I'll get back to going to the services. But church, I feel, is inside of you every day, uh, and I make sure to live that way. I don't want any. I don't want any regrets. I don't want any. I don't want any hard feelings, or I don't want any regrets. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. We don't have a whole bunch on tonight. It's only about 23 people, but that's plenty. If I have two that want to listen to me, that's fine. I'll talk. Wish y'all could get in this conversation with me. There's a way to do that, but I've never done it. Granny Pat and I, yeah, of course we used to, but it was so hard on her. That's why we quit doing our lives together, Granny Pat and I, because uh, if you're not computer, if you don't know the computer or iPads, it was so difficult trying to get her on the same at the same time that I was on my restream, and it wore us both out. I mean, we would work an hour or an hour and a half before the show, and by the time you have the show, you are just so exhausted, you don't have time to talk about. You forgot what you was even going to talk about. Not that I had anything tonight very much, but so that's why I've just she and I do not try to do lives anymore. There's going to be a day. There will be a day come when I've got this all set up with this new desktop uh, that we built to where I can make an advertisement like the I don't know if y'all been to the website, my new website that I built myself. But there's a way on there to message and all that. Well, there's a way that somebody, Granny Pat or whoever, could push a button and it would bypass and go right to the screen that we're talking on. So once that happens, I think I'll get more guests, I'll get more friends, I'll get Granny Pat, I'll get, but it's a long process writing computer to where you can get that done. Now with AI, it's becoming scary. There's Dee. Good evening, y'all. Hey, Billie Jean and Mama. Glad to see you, Dee. Happy Easter. Happy Good Friday. Uh, we had a chicken pot pie this evening from Aldi's. Y'all, those are good pot pies. They're that like them little banquets, the little cheap banquets. Well, they're only 98 cents at Aldi's. So, and this light is so bright. It's about to blind me tonight. But those pot pies are good. So if y'all like a good, inexpensive pot pie, go to Aldi's and get you one of them kind of like banquet. I bought some, and I like their milk. I've been going to Brahms, which a lot of you might have Brahms and a lot of you don't, unless you're in Texas and Oklahoma. And Kansas might have Brahms. The Brahms family still own it. But up north, I don't think they do. Y'all would have to correct me on this because I don't know. I really don't. I was trying to think if there's anything that I've done lately besides the perfume, working on the computer. I got this new thing goes to. It's not a router. This is to make a desktop wireless because the cameras in the kitchen will be wireless into here so that I can edit that stuff a little better than doing it on the telephone. So we're going to see. I'm always trying to upgrade or updo. And Mother said, I don't know when you're ever going to be through. I said, Mother, I probably never will. I'm always doing it in the background. I'm always doing something, Grandma Teresa, good to see you. We're just sitting here talking for just a little bit because being Friday, I thought I better get on there and say howdy do and let y'all know that we're here and we're okay. you know, we always are okay, it seems like. Uh, but I wasn't so sure when that depression hit me if I was going to get out of it or not. And I am. I asked God, I said, Lord, get me out of this depression state because there's so much making me depressed, and I'm maybe y'all too. I don't know, but it's better this week. I'm happy about that because, and then Mother Fallen, at least her eyes or the blackness around both her eyes, uh, a lot better, a lot, a lot better. I even put some cosmetics on it because we had to go out today, and when I had my shop. I used to get ladies occasionally, not a lot. They would come in and they'd been, in Dallas, they'd been beaten up by their boyfriend or they'd been in a bad car wreck or something. And they needed. One of them was getting married, and I spent, I bet, probably 3 hours. It seemed like trying to cover up everything on her face to where she didn't look like not one thing was wrong with her. Uh, it took a lot of patience, I'll tell you. But I got it to where she was beautiful. So those little things like that, I like helping people. Yeah, Teresa, Grandma Teresa, she's better. She's sassy. She's better. I can always tell when she's better because she gets kind of sassy, and I just laugh and go on. And she's got on Sunday will be her birthday, and she'll be 94. And I think I told you I looked it up, and because I asked her, I said, "Mother, have you ever had your birthday on Easter?" No, I don't think so. She said, "I don't think I have." So I looked it up, and from what I could tell, I didn't research it very much. It was in 1920 something. It was on Easter, April 5th, and then in the 1800s it was on April 5th. But none that after she was born in 32 that I could find, and I could have missed it, but she don't remember it. So Dee says, I'm sad too tonight, Billy. I'm glad you're on live tonight. Had to move back up north. Got a promotion at my job and it's lonely world again, but God is good and we're never alone when God is with us. Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Uh, Plus, little old friends like me and these others, you just have to reach out to us. You can always, any of y'all can always write me at justmebilliegene@yahoo.com and I'll get back to you just as soon as I can. Or you can message me now on Just Me Billy Gene on Facebook. I do not uh, check that as often as I should, even though I posted last night around the holidays. But I'm just ripping and roaring because I have my personal account, I have an art account, I have the Just Me Billy Gene. So once I get this computer, I keep saying once I get this done, I think everything will go into one account and I'll be able to respond and look. I just can't do it all right now because I've got the phone, I've got the computer, the desktop. But once we get it all done, yeah, mother, we're going to my sister's in the country for lunch on the Easter. So we'll kill two birds with one stone, Mama's birthday and then Easter, you know. No children there, we don't have anybody. Uh, no little boys or girls anymore. Uh, so we'll go out and just spend what little time with my oldest sister and my middle sister and my brother-in-law that had the lung cancer, and mother and myself will be the only ones. But we laugh, y'all. We laugh uncontrollably. We still talk and laugh about things, and that's what I like about holidays is because bring back those memories and then just laughing, just belly laughs because we did have fun on the growing up, and so a lot of that comes back now that we've gotten older, and every day I think of something that's happening that my grandmother did or my mother's done, and I just smile or get plumb tickled, and but that's a memory. And if we live on memories, then you can't go wrong. And that's what keeps me going is my memories. And every night that I get on with y'all or I read your comments, few weeks I might be thinking of something and I'll think of that whatever you've written or whatever I answered or whatever, and it makes me smile. So y'all are just as good for me as I am for y'all. So I'll try to come on Easter evening. I never know, but God bless you. God bless us. God bless the United States, and stay safe this weekend. And remember what the weekend's all about. We'll talk to you soon.